States, and we pledged billions more since that time. We're grateful for the efforts of the United Nations and Turkey to bring Russia back into the Black Sea Grain Initiative. In just over 3 months, that initiative has allowed over 10 million tons of grain to leave Ukraine's ports, helping drive down prices everywhere. 2/3 of the wheat shipped, the primary food for the world's poor, has gone to developing countries. But the truth is, we shouldn't have to negotiate constantly with President Putin to allow food to get out to the world. That's why the international community is sending a clear message to Moscow that it should stop using hunger as a bargaining chip and extend the grain deal long before it expires later this month. We also discussed relations with China. The G7 stands together in defense of the rules-based international order so that all nations can choose their path, free from intimidation, coercion, or unfair trade practices. We reaffirmed our abiding interest in peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait and our strong opposition to any unilateral changes to the status quo. We all recognize the need to cooperate with China on global challenges, like the climate crisis, which we cannot address without the world's largest emitter being a part of it, and global health security. But in our discussions here, we're also clear-eyed about the need to align our approach to the PRC in the face of growing coercion and push back together against Beijing's market-distorting policies and practices which hurt workers and industries in all of our countries. Iran was also on our agenda. We're inspired by the courageous young women who continue to protest across the country almost 50 days since the killing of Mahsa Amini, despite the regime's vicious crackdown. The next generation of Iranians are demonstrating that their desire to be free, to have opportunity,
نحن نجد الكثير من الإلهام من النساء الشجعان الذين يتظاهرون بعد مقتل مهسا أميني على الرغم من قمع النظام الخبيث. إن الجيل المقبل من الإيرانيين يظهرون رغبتهم لأن يكونوا أحرارا، أن يكون لديهم فرص ولا يتم إطفاء ذلك حتى من خلال القمع الوحشي. سوف نعزز العقوبات أولئك الذين يساهمون في القمع، وسنقدم خدمات رقمية حتى يستطيع الشعب الإيراني التواصل فيما بينه وأن يسلط الضوء على قمع النظام الذي يسعى دائما لقطع الإنترنت. ناقشنا أيضا الأزمة في هايتي، حيث العصابات تقوم بتفاقم الوضع في مجال الغذائي وزيادة العنف. نعمل معا لمحاسبة هؤلاء المجرمين من خلال العقوبات التي تبناها مجلس الأمن الدولي وفرض عقوبات جديدة من قبل الولايات المتحدة وكندا، والتي أعلنها اليوم على جوزيف لومبير وموري لاتوتو. نحن ممتنون لقيادة كندا ونطلب من المجتمع الدولي مساعدة الشعب الهايتي، وهذا يشمل البناء على عمل مشترك لتعزيز الشرطة في هايتي التي نجحت في استرجاع.
Look over the horizon to how we can build the capacity to anticipate and prevent other crises going forward. African countries are vital partners in building this capacity, from boosting the global supply of renewable energy to strengthening global health and food security. And our deepening cooperation was a central focus of the G7's meeting today with leaders from the African Union, Kenya, and Ghana. The cessation of hostilities signed earlier this week between the government of Ethiopia and the Tigray People's Liberation Front shows what we can achieve when we support African-led solutions. We applaud the African Union, the governments of Kenya and South Africa.
تظهر أنه يمكن أن نحقق أشياء عندما ندعم تلك الحلول في إطار الاتحاد الإفريقي. نحن ممتنون لجنوب إفريقيا وكينيا وكل الدول الإفريقية التي قامت بوساطة من أجل رأب الصدع بين
كان هذا
civilians. The situation is fragile. There will be challenges ahead. But the United States is committed to working with our partners toward a durable peace, a message that I underscored in my conversations over the last 48 hours with Prime Minister Abiy from Ethiopia, with Kenyan President Ruto, and South Africa's Foreign Minister Pandor. The work the G7 has done here will lay the foundation for the issues that President Biden and his fellow leaders will discuss at the G20 summit in Bali in just over a week's time. And all are issues that Japan will carry forward when it takes over the G7 presidency in January. As we saw here in Munster, when it comes to addressing the fundamental challenges of our time, the world's leading democracies are aligned. We're united.